Welcome to ESPN High School Kickoff. High school football is back, and tonight, two teams separated by just 20 miles kick off the 2026 season at the illustrious home of the reigning national champions as Buford hosts Gainesville. Matt Schick along with Craig Hobart. Great to be back with you. Great to have the season kick off. And great to be back here at Buford. We were here a year ago, Craig Hobart, to help christen this $62 million beauty. A year later, we're back. The only thing that's different, it now houses the #1 team in the country.
Yeah, Buford sure knows how to throw a housewarming party, right? Just go out and win the whole darn thing. And the reason they were able to do that is they're loaded with talent. This may be your first introduction to Buford, but trust me, college recruiters know well about this program. A year ago, they sent 10 players that had signed with FBS program. They were so deep, even their long snapper signed with an SEC program. That talks to the type of depth that they have.
Well, out with the old, in with the new. A bunch of Power 4 commits this season as well, including two-way standout Jameer Cantrell, who's headed to Arkansas.
Yeah, trying to defend that SC Next national title is not going to be easy, but they've got a lot of good players coming back. 5 players that are committed to Power 4 programs currently, and other names that you don't know yet that have a lot of offers as well.
As for the visiting Gainesville Red Elephants, they came up just short in the state championship game last year. They've got a game changer at quarterback to help them get over the hump.
Yeah, every offense loves to have a player like Kyrene Ugley, a player who's a true dual threat in what he can do on the offensive side of the ball. And we're going to go back a little bit in the Wayback Machine. Taj Boyd. He played at Clemson. Ugley is committed to Clemson, and I see similarities. Both similar type builds, not that ideal 6'4" frame, a little bit more like 6 foot, but they both have arm strength. We saw it from Boyd back in the day, the ability to drive the football downfield. Ugley has that as well, but also the ability to be able to layer the football, drop it in there. Good touch. Dual threat, the ability to create plays when things break down. Taj Boyd can certainly do that. Get outside the pocket, tuck it and run when he needs to. Buford knows that Ugley is a player that could be very dangerous with his feet. That's something Clemson's going to want to exploit as well once he gets on campus. And then also the footwork, the ability to get their feet set, be accurate. That's something for a young player that has really stood out to me about Ugley when I watch him, how calm he is in the pocket, how he gets a good base, and that really helps with his accuracy and to make him a dangerous player at the quarterback position.
Last year, 2,500 passing yards, 34 touchdowns, 9 picks, and more than 300 rushing yards at nearly 5 yards a clip. So someone to keep your eye on tonight, as will we up here in the broadcast booth and our cameras down on the field. It is Buford and Gainesville getting set to go here in what we would call a welcoming, sweltering heat. Craig Hobart, you were on the field for, I think, 7 seconds and lost 8 pounds.
Yeah, it was coming back up from the field just to say hi to the coaches and check some things. In the elevator, people asked me if I ran a marathon.
You did not. And just like this season, it is a marathon, not a sprint. Buford wins the toss. They will defer. Gainesville will receive. Jack Rudloff set to kick off. Legend Wilmot, Doyle Morrison are back to receive for Gainesville. Set to kick things off. The reigning national champion Buford Wolves. Wolves and Red Elephants. What more do you want to kick it off? Nearly 90 degrees here in the South. And we're underway. That is Legend Wilmot. Does not get back to the 20-yard line. So 1st and 10 at around the 18 for Kyrene Ugley. The 5'11", 6 foot, 210-pound senior, the 4-star dual threat quarterback, Greg Hubbard.
Yeah, we talked about some of the things that we saw in the past Clemson quarterback, Taj Boyd. For Ugley, being around him in camp settings also, he really stands out. He's a confident young man. He's got good leadership qualities. And I actually think we'll see as time goes on, but I think he's even got an ability to be even a little bit more of an accurate passer than Taj Boyd is. But they're going to really need him against this Buford defense that's very strong in its back 7 to be accurate tonight and dangerous with his legs.
3 receivers set. Ugley off into the flat. He's got his man at the 25. That's Sergio Ruiz, the big senior tight end, and that is a first down on the first play, as Ethan Hauser, the Vanderbilt commit, was able to push him out. do have a whistle and perhaps a flag on the play.
Personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Kyreme Hughley takes the hit, gets the first down. He's got a lot of toughness. You mentioned his thickness. He can absorb those hits.
Yeah, and this is things that Buford's going to need to be careful with, those penalties. You get set, the ball was gone, unnecessary to kind of make that hit. Wasn't a devastating hit, but you got to be smart. Earlier in the year, first play of the season, everybody's amped up.
11 yards on the pass, 15 yards additionally on the penalty. Jordan Brown, the senior tailback, the lone setback. Hughley, quarterback run game. That's going to be a big part of this game. Here for the Red Elephants, Josh Eccles, the senior, was able to bring him down, not before a gain of 9.
A little bit of tempo here. Using that motion across to kind of draw the defense, and he pulls it as his receiver right up the middle.
Jordan Brown, the fake to him, Hughley. The fake, the run, crossing the 30 to the 25-yard line. Tripped up finally by Braylon Williams. Doyle Morrison had a really good block to set Hughley free, again at 21.
We're seeing some of that poise early on from Hughley. He got the edge. He a little bit of a pump fake, throws that receiver defender.
Quick pass over the far side, but that is snuffed out immediately. Loss of 2 on the play. Silas Knuckles was able to fight through Doyle Morrison for the stop, no gain.
We're seeing Hughley being dangerous with his legs. When he got out there, it's a little bit of a pump fake, froze that defender, allowed him to kind of get upfield for a big gain, really being very dangerous with his mobility on this opening drive.
Wilcox, Wilmot at the near side, trips to the near side. Jordan Brown to the left of Hughley, and a whistle.
False start. Offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
And I think it's important, Matt, too, that we're seeing Hughley be active with his legs. A big part of that is their #1 running back, Nigel Newkirk, who's committed to Alabama, is not playing tonight. His backup is not playing tonight as well, so I think they're going to really lean on the Clemson commit to do a lot in their running game from that quarterback position.
Yeah, Dwight Lewis Jr., the 3-star running back, is also out as Jordan Brown gets the carry, but a ball on the ground. Scrum for the football, Buford pointing. The Wolves run it off the field, they create the turnover. Justin Thomas, the Wofford commit, recovering it. And it's first down now for Buford. A very promising drive, took a half step back with a penalty, and then a turnover.
Seeing that defense do a nice job swarming around, punching it out, rolled a little bit back there, forced fumble.
That's Tank Watson, the Michigan commit, the 3-star outside linebacker, is going to play predominantly defense tonight. Was able to punch that one free.
He also contributes as tight end, but heading to Michigan on the defensive side of the ball. Really nice job by that Buford defense responding.
And now the Buford offense gets their first shot here tonight. It's DJ Hunter, the James Madison commit at quarterback. Jameer Cantrell, the tailback, the Arkansas commit. He's got some scootability, but can't break out of that tackle. That'll be a gain of 1. As Jason Johnson, 6 foot, 185-pound linebacker, was able to come up for the stop. Second down and 9.
DJ Hunter, he's quite mobile himself at that quarterback position, taking over this offense. Dayton Raiola, who's now at Oregon, moved to tight end. He was the quarterback of that offense a year ago.
The pass back, the pitch back to Hunter. Hunter trying to elude the rush near the 15. He's going to tuck it and run and scoot out of bounds. And that was C.J. Terry in pursuit, the senior defensive end. That's a loss of 7 on the play.
Yeah, number 52, Darian Swanigan, was really instrumental in blowing that play up, coming off the left side of the defense. He really bubbled things. They were trying to get a little bit of misdirection going. He blew up that play and led to that loss.
A.J. Granville now in the backfield on this 3rd down and long. First appearance here for the sophomore Granville. Great talented players here, young players here on this Buford team. Hunter to the near sideline, and that's going to go out of bounds. Over the intended receiver's head. That's a 3 and out intended for the 3-star Braylon Williams. And Buford will have to punt this away after the fumble recovery.
Now, early in the year, too, it's always interesting, Matt. Special teams, a lot of teams don't do live special teams throughout camp. So it's always interesting when they line up the punt, what could happen.
Valentino Lorenzo gets this one away. Doyle Morrison, quite the threat, but that threat is minimized with the fair catch at the 38-yard line. We are just underway. Gainesville moved it well the first time, turned it over. They get a second chance next. The ESPN High School Kickoff is brought to you by Q-Collar. Protect your brain, protect your game. Collar up. Buford presented with their national championship trophy from a season ago, but it is a new season upon us. Their head coach, Brian Appling, tried to get the guys fired up pregame.
First chance this year, first impression for everybody in this team, this chapter of Buford football. I challenge y'all with a bunch of things. I challenge y'all to commit, okay? Because you got to commit to something today. I challenge y'all to have Everglow. The guy next to you is the most important thing in this room right now. You understand that? And representing and laying it all on the line for him. All right? Last one. You got to be obsessed about something. If you ain't been obsessed about something your whole life, you ain't lived yet. You understand that? Yes, you got to be obsessed about this game right now. Because I am. It's been 12 years in the making for this chance right here, this opportunity. Been a whole bunch of Buford football players that wanted this chance. And you got it. What you going to do with it? Grab on.
Awesome pep talk there. You got to be obsessed about something. And how about that pass broken up by Braylon Williams on a nice touch pass from Kyrie Hughley. That's his first incomplete pass of the night.
Braylon Williams, he's going to be utilized on both sides of the ball, but he's got offers from Duke, Georgia Tech, South Carolina, Wake, projected to the secondary. We saw that nice play.
Dawson Gray, the H-back. Jordan Brown, the tailback behind Hughley. Hughley, he can scoop, he can run, crosses midfield. He's got some more room to run. Crosses the 35. Reese Holland trips him up near the 30, call it a gain of 31, and the Red Elephants on the march again.
Yeah, I had a chance to go to Buford's today and talk to a couple of the kids. And when we talked about Kyrie Hughley, they all mentioned his ability as a runner, how they needed to stop him early on. The Clemson commit has been very dangerous on his legs, getting out the edge. Plenty of green out there, making a big run, trying to reignite this drive after the last one stalled with the fumble.
61 yards rushing here so far for Hughley, as Cooper Popka steps in, the backup quarterback, to give Hughley a brief blow. A 6-yard gain there for the tailback. Braylon Williams on the stop. Hughley back in the game, who again, 3 carries, 61 yards, including that long run of 31. Last time they were in this spot, turn the ball over. See if they're more sure-handed with the football. Brown again, spin move. Closing in on the 20, closing in on another first down. It's Jameer Cantrell, the Arkansas commit, with the trip up after the gain of 3.
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup because this Gainesville team, they may be without Nigel Newkirk, the Alabama committed running back, but we're seeing what their quarterback can do, and that's an offensive line that's got power 4 commits at both tackles and center, and their left guard is a junior to know, Carl Nozette. He's got a couple of offers as well, so 4 power 4 type linemen alongside offensive line.
It's the first third down for the Red Elephants. 4 on the play clock. Brown to Hughley's left, 1 on the play clock. Hughley keeps it. He'll have the first down. With that read option give game, that is Silas Knuckles on the stop. Gain of 4. You can see the dual threat capabilities here from Hughley.
Yeah, that was a good read by Hughley. He saw the middle linebacker, number 9, Wagner, kind of start to flow with the back. He pulled it as there was a seam right down the middle, be able to move the chains.
3 receivers set here for the Red Elephants. It's Jordan Brown, the senior tailback. Last week in a scrimmage, had a few carries, took 1 to the house. Brown has it, trying to take another one to the house, but he's tripped up inside the 10. And that will be a 2nd down and 1 upcoming. Ryan Tharp pushed him to the ground. Gain of 9, and the Red Elephants closing in on the end zone here. Quick change here for Buford. Hurry up here for the Red Elephants. Hughley stopped for a minimal gain.
Nice job there by Buford because they were trying to make a substitution and they were not even completely set along the defensive line.
And that is good enough for a first down. So first down and goal inside the 10-yard line here for Kyrene Hughley. Dabo Sweeney and those Clemson fans certainly loving what they're seeing here in this first quarter. Their future Clemson Tiger quarterback. Around the tailback, on the nil-time snap there. Not everyone on the same page. Austin Cook, the senior defensive end, read it. That's a loss of 4. Gainesville wasn't ready for that ball to be snapped, but Buford, the Wolves, they were on the prowl watching that ball move. First tackle for loss for Buford. It's 2nd down and goal. And that one goes off the hands of Hughley, and all he can do is cover it up. They are having some issues when they get the ball rolling.
Yes, as they put 2nd drive in a row where they've been able to kind of quickly get downfield and then start to see things fall apart. The fumble negated that first drive here. Just a little bit, that was on target. Looks like Hughley just took his eye off of it. And they went from really good position there on first down, 1st and goal, now push back outside the 20 on 3rd.
3rd and goal from the 21-yard line. We'll see how they play it here. Hughley, they give to Brown, who will pick up about 5. We'll call it 3. And DJ Ford with the stop, and that'll bring on the field goal unit here for Gainesville.
Yeah, those 1st and 2nd down miscues by Gainesville offensively really kind of changed the dynamic because it looked like maybe if they were going to potentially even be in a position, if they didn't get it, to go for it on 4th, getting pushed all the way back now. Got to have that kick attempt.
Dwayne Carter from 35 yards. He's the senior. They feel pretty good from the 25-yard line and in. They are right here. Carter, is that going to make it over? It will. 35-yard field goal for Dwayne Carter, and Gainesville is on the board in 2026.
Not how they had initially planned it, the way that drive started, but able to ultimately end it with points to take a lead over the #1 ranked team in the country.
Gainesville with a 3-0 lead here on Buford to kick off the 2026 season. You're looking at Centavius Bryant, former assistant at Gainesville. Came back to be the head coach after some time as the head coach at Grayson, where they won a state championship back in 2024. You look at the season recap. Won 10 of 12. Saw Josh Niblett step down and take a collegiate job. And again, got to the championship game. Hubbard, certainly some controversy. You saw that note about the ineligible player. Looking to right the wrongs here in this season.
Yeah, just trying to kind of get over the hump. Josh Niblett, who had great success at Hoover, came to Gainesville, had a really good run, just couldn't close there with the national title. Now a tight end coach at Colorado, but I think Centavius Bryant, who came from a very good Grayson program, sees the potential here at Gainesville.
Logan Gailey kicking this one off and into the end zone for the touchback, as Buford will take it at the 20. Little League World Series action continues tomorrow on ESPN and ABC starting at 9 a.m. Eastern. On ESPN, it's Nevada facing Washington. 11 a.m. it's California taking on Nicaragua. And then 1 o'clock Eastern on ABC, Davenport, Iowa. Cooper Tisson, oh yeah, Bayonne, New Jersey going toe-to-toe. And 2 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, South Korea and Curacao. Baseball season nearly coming to an end for the Little Leaguers. And it's just beginning here for the high schoolers of football. DJ Hunter, the quarterback. AJ Granville, the tailback, the sophomore tailback for Buford. The reigning national champions, 15-0 a season ago. Granville over to the far side. Granville with a big, good gain on first down, close to the first down.
The Buford O-line. I talked about Gainesville O-line. They had a center, 2 tackles committed to Power 4 programs. Same can be said for Buford. Left tackle committed to Boston College to play on defense. Their right tackle committed to Wofford. And then for their center, Eli Williams, he's a really good-looking junior, not committed yet. Love his tape, but that right guard, Noah Nixon, he's committed to Pitt. So very good offensive line. Both of these teams with luxuries at the high school level with the type of offensive lines they have.
Hunter to the near side, and a nice catch near the 39-yard line. That's Ian Chafin. A gain of 12 to move the sticks. It's Jaileel Goley on the defense. But Chafin, one of those electric receivers who even Coach Appling was saying, out of all the players, he's looking for him to get some exposure tonight.
Yeah, he's kind of got a slight build, but he's a playmaker for this offense. And the ability to go up, adjust to the football, the body control. He's a player who doesn't have any offers, but he's going to be a big part of this offense. Just a good football player.
Silas Knuckles in the backfield. Instead, the pitch goes to Jameer Cantrell, who tries to cut back. And that was snuffed out well by the Red Elephants for a gain of 1. Giannis Richardson, 6 foot, 245-pound junior defensive tackle with the stop.
Number 7, Jeremiah Proctor, the Pitt commit, doing a nice job on that previous play, just setting the edge, forcing that back inside.
2nd down and 9 here in this first quarter. 3-0 lead for Gainesville. Hunter, quick slant, defense there. Was he there early? Buford wants the flag, not getting it. That'll bring up a 3rd down. That was 7 Rashad was the intended receiver. It was Jeremiah Proctor again, the 3-star outside linebacker who can play all 3 levels. He's committed to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, good coverage there, kind of a hybrid type defender.
Coach was saying if he can make the plays he's made all summer, his phone will be blowing up after this game. Well, that's a pretty good PBU, and now it's 3rd down and 9.
I think Pitt's fine if it doesn't rain.
Yes, please. Put it on silent. Hunter, 3rd down. He's got time. Now he does it. And he's going to run out of bounds and ushered out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. Zachary Ingram was there on the stop.
It really starts with the coverage there for the Red Elephants. Nowhere for Hunter to go with the football.
Doyle Morrison with his heels at around the 13-yard line, back to receive this one. Valentino Lorenzo gets this one away. She lets that one bounce, and it rolls inside the 10-yard line. A 46-yard punt for Lorenzo. Gainesville has the lead and a lot of turf in front of them. Their next drive straight ahead. Yeah, the state of Georgia has produced some pretty good college football players, starting in the high school ranks, Craig Hubbard, and we're seeing one of them here.
Yeah, Ugley's been outstanding tonight with his legs. Derek Baker, we saw a year ago, the Milton quarterback, remember, got knocked out early. He's committed to Tennessee. J.C. Johnson committed to Texas A&M, was an Under Armour All-American last year as a junior. So the state has really kind of grown in stature in terms of the type of quarterbacks. Think about Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence coming out about a little longer than 5 years ago.
And Deshaun Watson, of course, from Gainesville. Kareem following in his footsteps to Clemson. Brown with the give and ushered back. We'll call that a no gain. Gainesville's got it done on the ground here so far tonight. That last drive, that scoring drive for the field goal, was 11 plays, 44 yards, all on the ground.
Yeah, and mainly from the quarterback, the Clemson commit, Kyreme Ugley. And for Buford, they lost a lot up front. That defensive line is not necessarily young in terms of their grade age, but in terms of experience.
Ugley back in the end zone. He's got to get rid of it. Eludes a tackler, looking downfield. And we'll just throw that one out of bounds. Great job of keeping his eyes downfield. It was Christian Walcott, the Boston College commit, in pursuit. Josh Eccles, Ryan Tharp in some coverage.
Yeah, Wilcott, who also plays left tackle, drove that offensive lineman back like he was dry blacking. He drove him all the way back into Ugley's lap and really kind of forced him to get outside the pocket. You mentioned there, still trying to create something, eventually knowing just to get rid of it.
Future ACC battle there. Walcott, Boston College in the backfield chasing Ugley, who's headed to Clemson. 3rd down and 10. 5 on the play clock, a little more than 3 minutes to go here in this first quarter. 1 on the play clock. Play clock expired, and it will be a delay of game. There may have been a timeout. Timeout there for Gainesville.
Yeah, smart. I mean, you take that penalty and things don't go. Now you're not only punting from your end zone, you're punting from the back of your end zone. And again, it's one of those things, you know, for Buford, they actually played a scrimmage, a live scrimmage against Baylor, Tennessee, who we saw Thursday night.
And they looked pretty good.
Yeah, and in that scrimmage, though, they actually did do some live special teams against each other. I'm going to keep harping on this because a lot of teams, when they go through fall camp, they don't do live special teams.
When we talk to the coaches, that's one of the questions that Yeah, you always ask is how much special teams work have you been able to get in?
Yeah, because you can work, you can line up, you could run downfield, but until it goes live and you're actually hitting somebody, it could be very different. So early in the year, you know, a lot of coaches are kind of, through special teams, are kind of white knuckling it. You know, they're like, I think we're good, but we really haven't seen it.
It's like the airplane GIF, just the wiping the sweat off as the plane is going through some turbulence.
Don't call me Cheryl.
3-0 lead here for Gainesville. Kyrie Hughley, 2 of 4 passing for 9 yards. They need 10 yards here to avoid a punting situation deep in their own end.
We'll see here, though. Obviously, even you said they've got some real estate to go to pick up that first, but I think you do something where you get him out on the edge because he can certainly pick that up if the pass is not there. Scrambling.
11 personnel here for Hughley. Hughley looking downfield, flips this one to the near sideline, and a miscommunication there with Trent Wilcox, but throws that one away. And the Gainesville Red Elephants will be forced to punt a 3-and-out for Gainesville after a couple of very prosperous drives.
Yeah, they chose to keep him in the pocket there. Once again, that Buford defensive line with really good push. Good coverage, and that's the strength of that Wolves defense is in the back 7. A lot of experience back there.
Logan Gailey is back to punt. One of those kickers who participated in that Coles Professional Scholarship Camp. Braylon Williams has some track speed. That snap is low, and that snap is on the ground. Recovered by Buford. Touchdown, Wolves! Brady Wagner falls on it in the end zone after Keyshawn Blow was able to punch that one out off of the low snap. And Craig Hubbard, we were just speaking about, those special teams.
It keeps coaches up at night heading into that first game. It was low, and just the scene, it was almost he was almost nonchalant about trying to scoop it up and get out on the edge, and the outstanding job by Blow with his right hand of knocking it out and then falling on it. Big special teams play.
Orthodox formation here for Buford, now setting up for the PAT. Is Evan Griffin set to put this one through. Was 22 of 25 in point afters last season. 1 for 1 here this season. So Buford hasn't got much done offensively, but they have a 7-3 lead.
Hey, being the #1 team in the country, 3 phases: offense, defense, special teams. You got to find a way. They've been struggling a little bit offensively. Here, special teams, I talked about it. You're always kind of worrying. Buford there, able to make a big play. Maybe give their offense a little bit of a spark with that.
What a huge recovery there from Brady Wagner, who started every game but one last year. Stepped in late summer when there was an injury on the team and never looked back. And starting out this season with a fumble recovery for a touchdown off of the botched snap. Special teams doing Gainesville in, so we'll get to see Kyrie Hughley yet again in this Gainesville offense after this kickoff. Legend Wilmot Doyle Morrison back to return as Jake Rudloff set to kick this off from the 40. And that is Legend Wilmot with the football. To the near side. Out at the 32-yard line. A return of 20. Terrence Atkins pushed him out of bounds. So this Gainesville offense, Hobbs, we saw them in their first couple of drives have some really big plays, good chunk yardage, and then they shoot themselves in the foot here a little bit with a bad snap or a penalty. 3 points, it feels like they should have the lead here, yet they don't.
Yeah, I mean, 2 drives that stalled. That second one, at least they were able to get 3 points out of it. I think for Buford, it's about containing Hughley. You've talked about him being a dual threat. Okay, you've got to take one of those away. Can he beat you as a passer? Absolutely. But with their #1 running back, talking about Gainesville being out, I think you've got to take Hughley out of the game as a runner and force him to beat you as a passer.
Hughley showing off that arm to the far sideline. That's Doyle Morrison to the 50-yard line. Jameer Cantrell, the Arkansas commit, brings him down, but a gain of 18. Most prosperous passing play of the day so far for Gainesville.
Yeah, it's a nice job, quick. Showing the arm strength, we talked about it at the top, the ability to throw from that far hash to the number, get his feet set right on his receiver. Again, he can hurt you in many different ways.
Hughley, miscommunication there with his receiver, Connor Hall. The sophomore receiver on the near side, throwing it out into the flat. And Hughley lost his helmet, so he's going to have to leave for a snap as Cooper Popka now comes back in.
Imagine here in a 2nd and 10 with Popka. According to their stat sheet, he did not attempt to pass last year. Imagine he'll probably keep it on the ground on this play.
Jordan Brown, the tailback, does get the carry. Finds some room, picks up a few yards. Reese Holland is there to snuff that one out. And now Hughley comes back in for this 3rd down play, 2.5 to go in the first. Get a Gainesville team that made it to the state championship game last season. They lost to Thomas County Central, taking on Buford, the Wolves that the state title won the national championship last season. 3rd down and 6 here for the Red Elephants. Hughley over the middle, and that one is snuffed out. Catch near the line of scrimmage. It's that man, Brady Wagner again. He had the touchdown and a fumble recovery in the end zone. And there he hits Colin Porterfield with everything he had.
Started with number 8, Eccles. He's going to come create that pressure, and then Wagner there in coverage quickly to make the tackle. Nice job by those linebackers.
And a 4th down attempt here. Kind of in no man's land. We'll see what Hughley does, and he will punt this one away. This little pooch punt bounces at the 10 and rolls out of bounds around the 5-yard line.
Might have to up him from a dual threat to a trio threat?
Yeah, you say DT. Is it TT now after that punt inside the 5? Now Gainesville's defense will come out onto the field, but you're seeing everything that Buford does, right? It looks like they don't have anything going offensively. Their defense, their special teams makes up for it, and now they force another punt.
Great teams find ways to make plays in all phases, and also they complement each other. When one side of the ball may be struggling, the other side of the ball finds a way to kind of step up, help them buy some time, help them kind of find their stride, and that's what we're seeing here from Buford early on. Offense has been struggling a little bit, making a play on special teams. We're starting to see the defense stiffen up when Gainesville did get deep, and now getting them off the field.
Worst starting field position here for Buford. Hunter with the give, and stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Josh Johnson, number 29, quickly getting downhill, filling that A-gap.
Closing in on a minute to go here in this first quarter.
Both of those, 2 of those linebackers, him and Chance Davis, both only sophomores, but talking with head coach Stantavius Bryant, he was really excited about that. He felt that both of those linebackers were going to be future stars in the state of Georgia with a little bit more experience.
10th play on offense here for Buford. Hunter, got to get rid of it. He does, down the middle of the field, and we got a flag. Braylon Williams, the intended receiver. A couple of guys on defense, including Jeremiah Proctor, did not have their hands turned around. Darren Williams applied some pressure there to Hunter.
You mentioned, I mean, Hunter was on the move, kind of had to throw that a little bit off balance, just kind of threw it up, and Proctor bailed him out. Talked about his versatility, but he, as you mentioned, man, he never turned around to try to find the football.
So we're seeing the penalty flag for the pass interference, but now we're walking back to the original line of scrimmage. And they are marching this off.
But remember, high school.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
It's not an automatic first in high school, but the 15 yards obviously is enough to get them the first.
They got just as many yards on that penalty for their offense as they have provided by their own offense.
Proctor had been looking back, and then he kind of turned in and just keyed the receiver and never tried to find the football.
Here Cantrell with the give, and he's wrapped up from behind. A couple of red elephants in pursuit, including Darian Swanigan. Coaches say he's really good, and if he plays like he practiced earlier in the week, they'd be in pretty good shape. We've called his name a couple of times.
You asked Coach, who are you excited to see? Who are you? And that was the first name that he said that he was really excited to see him. He felt that he could be kind of a breakout player. We're seeing it early on.
That should be the final play of the first quarter here in 2026. Gainesville outgaining Buford 113-19 in total yards, but it's Buford outscoring them 7-3. It's a $62 million beautiful edifice here. Buford High, the home team with the lead. We go to the second quarter next. Buford's offense only has 2 first downs, but their defense has come to play, forcing 2 turnovers.
Yeah, that defensive front, which a little inexperienced, I think has really played well in that first quarter in terms of getting pushed. That's the secondary, the back 7 of that defense has a lot of experience, so they've been able to make plays, even though Kyrie Mughley, the Gainesville quarterback, has had some success with his legs, and then special teams, always something to worry about, especially early in the year. A bad snap allows Buford to be able to take advantage land on the football in the end zone and put those points on the board.
You ever wondered if there was an announcer jinx? It is, and it exists in Craig Hobbart's soul, talking about special teams nonstop. There was a botch snap, and now we got another botch snap. Hunter swarmed under by the Red Elephants in the backfield. Jason Johnson was there, among others, a loss of 8. DeMarcus Simmons as well in pursuit.
A little high, but one that you expect your quarterback to be able to pull down, just went through his hands. But then by the time he was able to scoop it back up, the red jersey is swarming him. For offense is struggling, certainly don't want to put yourself behind the chains. Never want to do that, especially when you're still trying to kind of find your groove.
11 plays, officially 11 total yards here for Buford after that loss. Hunter fakes the give, keeps it, nearing the first down. He's going to come up a couple of yards short. Jeremiah Proctor, the 3-star outside linebacker, the Pittsburgh commit, able to trip him up before he could move the change. The gain of 16 will force a punt.
Yeah, number 6, Darren Williams, the Wake Forest commit, just came off the edge. He took the running back. Hunter sees that, he pulls it. He's got plenty of green on the outside, showing Hughley that I can do that too. I can make a little damage with my legs as well. The James Madison commit.
It is 4th down and 2. Perhaps I spoke too soon about the punt. Hunter got a wildcat here. And it goes over his head. Over Cantrell's head and wrapped up at the 5-yard line. What a mistake. Darren Williams there in pursuit, capitalizing on it, and now the Red Elephants in golden opportunity here to take the lead.
Yeah, even with their struggles offensively tonight, really hadn't seen much between the quarterback and center. Now twice on that drive, high snaps. You take Hunter out, you motion him out, you put Cantrell back there through his hands. I mean, just a little bit too high too. You're also losing a little bit of height there when you move Cantrell back there at the quarterback position.
Deep in your own territory. Not only going for it, but doing a play like that. Wildcat, you trust Cantrell. He's headed to Arkansas, but you get a bad snap. Certainly taking a gamble there. Inside, deep in your own territory. And now, Kareem Hughley going to try and cash in. That Buford defensive front. Saying not just yet, but a couple of yards gained there. Call it 4 for the Clemson commit, Kareem Hughley.
Tough running there, running like a fullback.
Line change here for the Red Elephants. Little jumbo formation now for Gainesville. Trying to find the end zone for the first time on their shortest drive.
They pulled their quarterback out. Hughley's out.
Into the end zone for the touchdown of the Red Elephants. Darren Williams. They talked about him potentially being that wildcat running back. But there is a whistle here on this play, and Buford is pointing the opposite way. And the Gainesville coaching staff livid at the officials.
2nd down.
An illegal formation. And you see the head coach for Gainesville, Centavius Bryant, livid there at that call.
They had a sub Hughley out, brought in the Wake Forest commit, the linebacker at that wildcat. Too many in the backfield, looks like. He's, again, you try to execute some of these things for the first time.
So illegal formation, it was no play. So with the penalty, it is 2nd down and goal. Hughley back in the game. Hughley to the end zone, overshoots his intended receiver, the big tight end, Dawson Gray, who had no one within 5 yards of him.
Yeah, as soon as Hughley threw that, he knew he just too much on it. Missed opportunity. And we're seeing it a few times tonight. Gainesville with great field position, but they kind of get in that red zone, start to break down a little bit.
Gainesville converted their first third down. Since then, they're 0 for 3. And if Buford can hold them to a field goal and maintain this lead after that disastrous turnover, they will chalk that up as a win. 3 receivers set. It's Jordan Brown, the tailback, next to Hughley. Hughley looking in Brown's direction. Now to the middle, it's nearly intercepted. In and out of the hands. Braylon Williams had it and was probably thinking about running right when it hit his chest.
Number 18, collided with his teammate and knocked it loose. That was not the type of PBU that Hawthorne wants.
Nor will he get credit for it.
And you know, small thing, but it could obviously make it a 1-point game with that turnover. Would have just shifted possession. See if he can make this kick.
25-yard attempt here. Dwayne Carter made his first one and makes his second one. So 2 red zone opportunities for Gainesville High out of Georgia and 2 field goals, Craig Hubbard.
Gainesville had their opportunities, not able to capitalize, but to shave the lead there to 7-6 over the number 1 ranked Buford.
You know, when we resume this season or begin this season, no one's going to say, Craig Hubbard, man, I really miss those temporary restraining orders and local court judges and injunctions. Let's look at these teams, these logos, and watch these top 10 teams do battle beginning next week.
Yep. Ohio State, Oregon, that's Big Ten, had a lot of success. 2 teams kind of leading early on. You know, Notre Dame's going to have a chip on their shoulder.
And Miami's got an offensive tackle commit here in this game as well. Big number 77, the left tackle for Gainesville. Well, after that field goal, it's 7-6. 4 plays, -1 yard after that turnover. And that one goes out of bounds. Flag on that play. Gainesville's doing enough to make you believe in them and then also make you scratch your head a little bit.
Yeah, just not able to finish. And one of the things, too, I noticed having a chance to watch that scrimmage that Buford had against another top 25 ranked team, Baylor out of Tennessee, who was able to get a win Thursday night over the Brentwood Academy, was that Baylor was able to create a couple of big plays in that scrimmage.
Kick out of bounds, kicking team. The ball deflected to the 35-yard line. First down.
But even in that scrimmage, that Buford defense was really able to respond, stiffen up once they got into their own red zone. We're seeing that's a very resilient group. Kind of, you know, you hear that old thing, you know, bend, don't break. That's kind of the way that this defense has kind of been playing tonight. Now they need this offense, which really its identity is on the ground. We see this formation, tight formation, a lot of size in there. See if they just try to get back to basics. try to win the line of scrimmage and move this football on the ground.
Well, because of that penalty, it's their best starting field position of the night. Cantrell in the backfield, doesn't get much. DeMarcus Simmons was there, minimal gain of 3. Just 9 total yards here tonight of offense for Buford through a quarter and change.
You know, you go to a practice, I'm sure at some point you're going to hear some coach scream, finish. And that's what Gainesville has struggled to do tonight. 3 times getting into plus territory in Buford side of the field and really only coming away with 6 points. 2 of those red zone trips.
Second down here for Buford. Hunter fading back, throwing over to the near side. It is caught. Is it in bounds? Coach is pointing to the sideline. The officials saying no. Braylon Williams, the 3-star athlete, did not get his foot in bounds. Yeah, Sims playing the defense.
Williams, great effort, but the momentum took him out of bounds. Going up for it. It looks like that right toe had just kind of tapped the white there.
Both teams have combined 1 for 8 on 3rd down. Buford has yet to convert. Beck Brocious in at tailback here next to DJ Hunter, the James Madison commit of quarterback. Hunter, what does he got? Over the middle and in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. R.J. Walker. Talented junior, 6'2", 195, had it in his grasp. A nice throw by Hunter, but unable to gather in was Walker.
Well, actually, was a little bit behind his receiver, and that allowed Ingram on the hit to be able to knock that loose. As a young freshman receiver, they're really excited about it. He's a good-looking kid physically, but incompletion there.
Lorenzo the punt, and that one is just off the side of his foot. That'll go out around the 41-yard line of Buford. Just a 22-yard punt. And an opportunity here for Gainesville. But we see this, Craig Hobart, early season, first game. It's a lot like in college football when you have a big non-conference game. You're expected to play really well for that first game. It's asking a lot, especially at this age.
And listen, you're not easing into the season with this matchup either team.
Jordan Brown gets the handoff and not much else. No gain. That defensive front for Buford. Josh Eccles, who's headed to Middle Tennessee, called his name a few times here. 8 minutes to go here in the first half. Hughley. Incomplete. Doyle Morrison, the intended receiver, and just like that, we're at a 3rd down.
Yeah, some pressure. Tried to get him out on the edge, but this Buford defense, they really fell. I had a chance to talk to Josh Eccles after practice yesterday. I said, what's different about this team from a year ago? He goes, we lost some good players alongside defensive line, but we're really experienced in the back 7. We can help those young guys.
Pressure on him, and Hughley throws it into the dirt. Brady Wagner, Josh Eccles there again. And that offensive line for Gainesville having their hands full without question. Their second 3 and out tonight.
Yeah, bringing both of those inside linebackers, and it was a screen that they were able to get there quick enough. Those offensive linemen, you got to, at least as you see it, chip them, try to slow them down a little bit because they just tried to release and allowed them to get right in Hughley's face.
Braylon Williams back to receive. He'll let that bounce at the 30. Buford, just 9 total yards with a 1-point edge. Less than 8 minutes to go here in this first half at Buford. The ESPN High School Kickoff is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Yes, that is a miniature field here they have for some of the youngsters to play on during this game. Buford offense, perhaps hoping it was that small. It reached the end zone a little more easily tonight.
Their offensive numbers would look stronger. Yeah.
I mean, one rush by Hunter, their quarterback, for 16 yards. The other 15 plays, -7 yards. How about these recruiting class rankings, Greg? What stands out?
Well, we talked about the AP rankings. Oregon, Ohio State, not only great things projected on the field, you see them also having success on the recruiting trail as well. Miami, you talked about it. They got to commit in this game, and Gainesville left tackle Tyler Ford.
DJ Hunter hands it off to Knuckles. That's Silas Knuckles trying to find some gap of offense. It's Chance Davis. The big stop after a gain of 1. Chance Davis, a 6 foot, 200-pound sophomore. His name is Jake. His nickname that he goes by is Chance. Say doctors gave his mom a 1% chance to conceive. Well, here he is. They nicknamed him Chance. Hunter on the far side. Oh, how about these Red Elephants? Jameer Cantrell had nowhere to go. A loss of 1. The offense continues to find problems. Marcus Sims, big number 2 for Gainesville with the stop, and it's 3rd and long.
They're quickly trying to get out the edge. Sims reads it, just fights through the block, is able to blow it up, and the rest of that Red Elephant defense swarming.
Silas Knuckles again in the backfield. Average yards to go on 3rd down, 12.5 yards. They're about that here. You better look out. Hunter throws it into no man's land. He's hit there. That was Darian Swanigan, was one of 2 Red Elephants there in pursuit. And Tamari Bailey, the defensive back as well, who's got offers from UMass, among others.
Well, similarly to how the Gainesville drive ended, it's how it ended for Buford. They were trying to set up a screen. The penetration was so quick there, getting upfield, it never allowed it to develop.
3 plays, no yards on that drive. But we do have a flag here. It didn't look like the Gainesville coaching staff was very thrilled.
Intentional grounding. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Lost it down. 4th down.
Well, he said he threw it into no man's land, and there was no one within about 5 to 10 yards of that pass hitting the ground.
Well, I mean, it looked like they were trying to set up a screen. Look at the back that slipped out of there, but didn't, with that pressure, it was obviously a sloppy throw, and officials feel like that wasn't even anybody there close enough.
4th punt for Buford. Valentino Lorenzo will try and get this one away. Legend Wilmot is standing at the Buford 45-yard line. Legend makes the catch at the 45, scampers to the 40, and will be brought down at the 39-yard line. Pretty good field position. High school football rolling on. College football goes international for week 0. Next Saturday, tune in for a triple header starting with North Carolina versus TCU in Dublin. That's noon Eastern. Then NC State visits Virginia, followed by Alabama A&M versus Howard in Atlanta at 7:30 p.m. Eastern for the MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff on ABC. All 3 games are also available on the ESPN app.
How excited do you think North Carolina's got to be just to start playing football too, right? They've been all types of headlines.
Time for them to go overseas. That's kind of get out of campus, start in opposing territory here for spins the opposite direction, out of bounds. Outside the tackle box, no grounding call. Ethan Sherbill commit in pursuit. Here, Craig Hopper. Get this offense back on track against this stout defensive front.
Yeah, I think that this Buford defense has really kind of stepped up after those early drives. You got to remember, this is a Gainesville offense that's without its top. Early on, Hughley was able to kind of compensate for that with his legs, but since they have been able to balance it out in the air, they've been able to slow him.
Brought down behind the line. 2. Carson White, the sophomore. 3rd and long.
You and I had talked to, it's hot down there. One thing that Buford does, they rotate in a lot of, especially along the defensive line, push bodies out there. They've been able to kind of win it along the line of scrimmage by doing that, just playing fresh, playing disruptive.
Arshawn Sampson, the freshman tailback, getting his first action tonight. Next to Hughley. Hughley has some time. Hughley over the middle, bobbled and out of the hands. And tipped away from his intended receiver. That was Jameer Cantrell doing a nice job, the Arkansas commit, knocking that away from the tight end.
Yeah, good awareness by Cantrell, because there were actually 2 Gainesville players that had a shot at it. On that ricochet, Cantrell stays with it, sees it, able to disrupt it, make sure that's not a completion.
Back-to-back 3 and outs for Gainesville. 5.5 to go in this first half. Braylon Williams back at the 10. Williams has it. It's to the 20. Brought down to the 21. And there's going to be a late hit. It almost looked like one of the Red Elephant players knocked over his own man after the whistle was blown. We'll see what they call. This would be the 6th penalty flag of the day.
Yeah, I saw that too, but I didn't see the origin of where, almost like he was just out of control, that Red Elephant coming down there.
Elephants can get out of control.
Just stampeding down there.
Personal foul, face mask, return team, has this to the goal, first down.
Another penalty against Buford, backing them up even further. Can this offense get going? We'll find out. They do have the lead, 7-6 here at home. Thanks, Jason. Thank you, Trevor.
Trevor had me thinking about Thanksgiving.
He did. That was, I don't know what time of year it was. Had to check the calendar. Granville, excuse me. Stopped near the line of scrimmage after a minimal gain. Darren Williams was there on the stop. Your advice to the Buford offense would be what?
Well, this is a running team. They want to establish a line of scrimmage. They want to run the football, but I almost feel like they need to try to take a shot. Number 12, we talked about it, Ian Chaffee. He's not a big name under recruiting circles, doesn't have any offers, but you watch them at practice as I did yesterday. He's an important part of this offense. I think they need to find ways to get him involved. He's to Hunter's right.
He's number 12 in the slot. Instead, they'll hand it off. That's Cantrell, that's Granville, excuse me. And a gain of a few yards. Jaileo Goli with the stop. He's the 4-star corner with more than 35 offers to his name.
Well, at least here, I think you had mentioned on a previous drive, they were averaging about 12.5 yards on third down. At least those 2 runs now put him in a manageable third down situation.
Four receivers set here for DJ Hunter, the James Madison commit. Trip Chapman in the backfield. Hunter to the near side. He's going to have the first down and knocked out of bounds. And that's their first third down conversion of the night. Forced out tackle there by Colin Luke.
Yeah, they brought pressure. Number 6, Darren Williams, looked like he might have had a shot at him. The Wake Forest commit, he was able to slip Williams, who came in around, and with that, able to pick up that first down. Good awareness by Hunter, seeing that pressure, seeing a lane, and even able to move the chains.
21 offensive plays, 24 total yards here for this Buford Wolves offense. Cantwell, the lone setback, 1 on the play clock, and DJ Hunter has to call a timeout. Now he's calling out his guys.
Timeout. Buford. Their first charge, timeout of the half.
Getting into it a little bit with his teammate Owen Moraski and others.
A little miscommunication is getting a line to show some frustration, just really not able to kind of find their stride yet offensively. I really thought coming into this game they might have more success between the tackles, going back, seeing how they performed against Baylor, the Baylor school in Tennessee. They were really able to get good push up the middle. Gainesville has countered that well and really been able to kind of stifle that Buford offense. Again, I think they're going to need to find some ways to take some shots in the passing game, whether it be Chafin or somebody else. Braylon Williams, number 13. Ace Thomas, number 3, another two-way player for them.
Yeah, Tank Watson, we saw some of him, the two-way player who's predominantly playing defense. He's committed to Michigan, 3-star outside linebacker, but does work in at tight end a little bit as well. Brings a lot of experience here to this group. And yet to see him be targeted here tonight. So first down and 10 here. Trip Chapman, the tailback here behind the James Madison commit, quarterback DJ Hunter. Ian Chafin in motion, now to Hunter. Hunter looking. Hunter deep down the field, has his man, who couldn't have been dropped any more perfectly into the hands of Braylon Williams. He could not hold on. He's frustrated. We got a flag in the backfield. That's about as good of a throw as you will see from DJ Hunter. Corey Hunt got beat deep. And Braylon Williams, the 3-star athlete, had it.
Illegal use of hands. Defense. 10-yard penalty. First down.
So instead of a 50-yard gain, they'll take about 10 yards here. And move the change. How about this pass here from DJ Hunter?
Well, got the protection. As you mentioned, just kind of dropped it in there. And Williams running underneath it, knows he should have had it. He's had to step on the defender. We talked about it. That was that shot that I think they needed to take. The defensive penalty at least gets them the first, which as you mentioned, a big gain there lost.
4 first downs here for Buford. 2 of them have come via the penalty. We're less than 4 minutes away from halftime. Buford with a 1-point lead. Cantrell. Not much going there for the Arkansas commit. Darren Williams, the Wake Forest commit, stops him for a gain of 2.
Williams had 70 tackles a year ago, a big part of his defense.
Braden Tank Watson is back in the game here for Buford. He is on the far side, lined up as a receiver. Now in motion, he is the Michigan commit. Hunter finds his man, and that's finally caught. Rodney Walker Jr. with the catch. That's a gain of 17. That's a talented freshman, Craig Hubbard, with the grab.
And able just to kind of pull it, use that play action, then good slant route, good pass, good catch, execution.
And you are about to see the first snap for Buford in Gainesville territory. Pitch behind, that's Ace Thomas on the reverse, and that was snuffed out beautifully. Jeremiah Proctor, headed to Pittsburgh, brings him down for a loss of 1.
They tried to show the toss, and then you see on offense, he's able to kind of get the pitch there. But great job defensively by Gainesville, staying home. You talked about Proctor playing his assignment, being able to take that play away, not let Ace Thomas get around the edge.
Pat Narduzzi, no doubt watching and enjoying what he's seeing. Keyshawn blown out, and at tailback, that play nearly blown up.
Marcus Sims doing a nice job getting downhill.
C.J. Terry in there as well, defensive line. And now 3rd down and long here with less than 2 minutes to go here in this first half. If you're just joining us, Buford scored their lone touchdown, their lone points, with a bot snap in the end zone from Gainesville as they were attempting to punt. It fell on the football, got the touchdown. 4 receivers set here for the Wolves. Hunter takes the low snap, looking, scanning, and batted down. C.J. Terry, big number 99 on that defensive front. The senior forces the punt.
Yeah, one of the things about Hunter, he's got a good arm, but he's got a bit of a 3-quarter delivery. Not real over the top, and then you do a nice job, the big guys. You can't get to the quarterback. You get your hands up. And that's what C.J. Terry was able to do, knock that down.
Legend Wilmot, the 3-star undeclared prospect, is standing at the 13-yard line waiting for this punt from Valentino Lorenzo. And he fields it at the 10, cut back, down, ball on the ground. Flag on the play, and it looks like Gainesville did recover that. No, they didn't. They're signaling Buford football. Ashton Thomas, check that, Ethan Hauser, forcing that ball loose. And if that stands, that's the 3rd turnover here for Gainesville.
Second in special teams.
Officials getting together.
definitely came out. The only thing was did the whistle blow? Was his momentum stop? Kind of stood him up. But that ball definitely came out.
During the return, block in the back, return team. Penalties decline, bubble on the play, first down.
Wow. Buford getting it done on defense and special teams yet again, and now the offense in a great spot to finally get something going.
They're able to kind of stand him up as he's trying to get momentum. Just at that point, that's where he comes in, knocks the football out.
Tank Watson was able to recover that. And it leads to the first red zone opportunity here for this Buford offense.
So it was Brendan Davis who was able to knock that loose.
DJ Hunter, they're looking to pass, going to the near side, and good defense played there by that pass attempt. That was Zachary Ingram. They call him the blanket for a reason. He and Chafin had nowhere to go there.
Yeah, he had 17 PBUs listed a year ago in their stats. Plays opposite Jaleel Goley, talented junior.
He's committed to Miami of Ohio, the 3-star.
I've talked about they've got to get Chafin more involved. Well, when you're playing two outstanding corners, it's a little bit hard as a receiver sometimes to get involved.
Hunter now under center. Cantrell is behind him. Instead, it's the give and a fumble. Ball on the ground. And it looks like Cantrell might have fallen on that one. The Red Elephants of Gainesville appear to be trying to scoop that one up. Buford fell on it and maintained possession.
Hunter, good awareness there of seeing that ball and then racing towards it. Almost like he may have dove a little bit too early.
Knocked free from Ace Thomas. Darren Williams forced that one loose. DJ Hunter lost his helmet, so he is out of this play. Braden Thompson coming in here at quarterback on 3rd down. The sophomore, they say similar to DJ, can throw, can run, used in a similar fashion. We shall see. Beck Brocious, the tailback next to him. And a timeout here for Gainesville. 37 seconds to go.
Timeout. Gainesville, their second charge, timeout of the half.
A 3rd down and 22 coming here.
Neither of these teams are handling red zone very well.
3rd and 22 for a Buford team that has 32 yards of offense so far. Yeah, they're set up with opportunities. They just don't want the early Christmas gift.
This could have been huge for Gainesville. DJ Hunter, just seeing that, he was quite a few yards away. He sprinted and was able to get on top of that. Otherwise, it could have gave Gainesville some real momentum potentially going into the half.
Good job there by Hunter to recover it.
He dove a little bit too early. Had to kind of get that back crawl over to get to it, but great awareness, great hustle by the JMU commit. But still, this offense, you got a great opportunity there off the special teams turnover. Their only points coming from special teams. They could use the special teams play to create more points now. Once again, finding themselves way behind the chains on 3rd down.
2 timeouts left for Buford, 1 for Gainesville here in this first half.
Did feel like Brian Applin, their head coach, felt like that both of his place kickers had good legs. So if they can kind of just get some positive yards here, potentially try to at least extend that lead with a field goal.
Braden Thompson, the quarterback. A.J. Granville, the tailback. Braden Watson is in this football game on offense. 3-star Michigan commit. Thompson right up the middle for a minimal gain. And that will bring up 4th down. We'll see if Gainesville spends their final timeout. It doesn't appear that they will. Jaleel Goley and Dallas Ferguson on the stop for Gainesville.
It almost felt like with that run, they're setting up for a kick.
Yep.
I'm going to center it up. They're not going to use your timeout. We're just going to go ahead and bleed some bleed some time off. Try to extend this lead.
Evan Griffith will eventually attempt this field goal, we believe, for Buford. I would say that this stadium design, $62 million.
Buford, their second charge timeout of the half.
They did a really smart job knowing where the sun was going to set, where it was going to shine the most. The visiting crowd getting baked in the sun. Buford, nothing but shade.
Yeah.
I mean, just really smart. $62 million where they have figured it out here. Opened last season. We were here for the christening. 15 suites with standing room only crowds.
You're right. The visitors probably like, hey, could you just gone 63 and put an overhang over here? Would have killed you to plant a few trees.
Little pergola over here would have been nice. 89 degrees, sunny. You can see all the fans moving, the physical fans that are waving.
The whole campus is, I mean, it's 3 buildings. In 2019, the entire campus was built, called Buford University.
Affectionately known. Little League World Series action continuing tomorrow, ESPN and ABC. Starts at 9 a.m. Eastern on ESPN, then 11, then 1 o'clock on ABC, then 2 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. American and international teams alike in that Williamsport battle. Evan Griffith had a career-long 50-yarder last year. This from 37. The lefty is a beauty at the horn. Buford extends their lead. They lead 10-6 going into the locker room.
I think both coaches address special teams and then trying to find a way to ignite their offenses. I think both defensive coordinators pretty happy about the way things played out.
10-6 Buford with the halftime lead. Time now for the halftime report. Jason Spells and Trevor Madden. Welcome back to ESPN High School Kickoff here on the campus of Buford High School as the home team with a 10-6 lead here on Gainesville as we kick off the 2026 season here in the South. Matt Schick alongside Craig Hubbard. Craig, they're the reigning national champs, #1 team in all of high school football. They only have 35 yards of offense, yet have 10 points and a 4-point lead. How?
Well, it's being a complete team. Their offense is struggling, but their defense and their special teams has stepped up in the way that they've played, creating 3 turnovers, which has resulted in helping them to get some of those points. And even though it's not a big lead, they'll lead.
Now it's time for our cue collar heads-up play, and there have been a bunch of them for this Buford defense and special teams, Hobbs.
Yeah, this Buford defense, especially along that defensive front, they've been very stifling, not allowing Gainesville to really get their running game going after it seemed like Kyrie Mugli was going to be dangerous on the ground, but they've been able to win at the line of scrimmage, stuff that run game, and then a special teams era led to the 7 points for Buford, and then another turnover would at least allow Buford to put up a field goal before the half and extend that lead.
The stats don't necessarily tell the story, at least on the offensive side, as Gainesville outgaining Buford 115 to 35. Same number of passing yards. Buford having a tough time rushing the football, but it's those turnovers. Ball security is job security, and that's why Buford feels very secure about where they're at right now. And if they can get their offense going at all, it could be tough sledding here for Gainesville.
Yeah, I mean, those last 2 numbers are so big. The turnovers and then the points off turnovers is really telling. And if you're playing the #1 ranked team in the country, you cannot make mistakes like that. For Gainesville to still be even in this game like this is big for them with the way that they've been able, the way that they've turned over the football. And really, they're lucky that Buford is struggling offensively and hasn't been able to capitalize more. Both of these offenses really need to find their footing, find something that works. I think for Buford at some point, though, we saw it. Braylon Williams had a drop, but they still need to try to loosen that defense up, take a shot deep, let DJ Hunter show that arm strength. And I think for Gainesville, they need to try to find a way for Kyrie Mugli to be able to run the football like he did on those first 2 drives where he rushed for 63 yards. He's only rushed for 4 since those first 2 drives.
There's Hughley, the Clemson commit. And there are the fans baking in the sun here in Georgia. Kickoff time, it was 89 degrees and southern humidity, like you hear about in the books. DJ Hunter, the quarterback for Buford, probably had the biggest play of the game, was a fumble recovery that allowed them to kick that field goal as time expired.
Yeah, I mean, Buford doesn't have any turnovers in the statistic column, but they have put the ball on the ground a few times themselves. Both of these teams need to do better with ball security and with finishing offensively.
Logan Gailey set to kick off. Silas Knuckles and A.J. Granville set to return. That one nearly goes out of bounds, but Knuckles receives it and runs with it toward the 40-yard line. Nearing the 39, that's Colin Luke making the stop there for Gainesville. And Buford with some pretty good field position here to start this second half. So they ended the first half with a field goal as time expired. And now just beginning here this third quarter. We'll see what kind of adjustments they make here.
Yeah. Well, you focused on the positive. Remember, though, they were in the red zone and kind of should have put more points on the board and still able to salvage those 3 points.
My cup's always half full.
There you go. But I think, I thought they'd be able to do, talking about Buford, a little bit better in between the tackles and getting pushed. Gainesville's really pushed back against that.
Jay Hunter hands off to Jameer Cantrell. He's headed to Arkansas, but not headed for many yards. That's a gain of 2.
And I think, that Buford coaching staff probably feels the same way right out the gate, trying to get downhill. The Red Elephant defense doing a nice job, giving up minimal gain.
Buford, a team that went undefeated last year, won the national championship in high school football. Gainesville went 10-2. These 2 schools just 20 minutes apart from each other. the handoff. Nearing the first down. Stop there by Chance Davis. That's a gain of 6.
Yeah, pulled Noah Nixon, number 70, the Pitt commit, around. Nice job following his block, putting themselves in. They've managed to really kind of get themselves behind the chains a lot in that first half. Here in a good position, Noah Nixon, the right guard, pulling around, able to kind of seal number 52. And always running back to get downhill, Jameer Cantrell.
Well, Buford has averaged 12 yards to go on their third downs. This is a welcome relief. 3rd down and 2, their shortest 3rd down conversion attempt of the night. You see Hunter going out wide. Jameer Cantrell now in for the Wildcat, looking for some place to run. Can he find it? He does. Nearing the sticks. It will be just a tad shy. Noah Nixon led the way for Cantrell to the far side, but it will bring up 4th down.
I think here, listen, you're number 1. You want to try to defend that. You got to go for it here. This went much better than the last time they did. Remember, it was a high snap that went through Cantrell's hands.
This looked like a first down. This looked like he cleared that yard marker. Even Ian Chafin couldn't believe it. And now quickly going under center and pushing forward, and there's the first down. There is a flag on the play.
Illegal shift. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Just making things challenging for themselves on a simple get under center and push the ball forward.
Yeah, both of these teams have just kind of managed to find ways when it looked like there was an opportunity for success to shoot themselves in the foot. So you could debate whether he picked up that first on 3rd or not, but penalty just negating an opportunity to move the chains.
Valentino Lorenzo has been exercising his leg a lot tonight. The 3rd 3 and out. Here for Buford, Doyle Morrison set to return. He has the football, catches it at the 13. It's a fair catch. So Gainesville High School has seen some pretty good quarterbacks come out of their school to the Power 4 level. Kyrie Hughley could very well be the next one. He's a 4-star dual threat quarterback, top 200 prospect, and headed to Clemson. Look at how he started. What's changed here, Hobbs?
Yeah, this is an offense. They came out early on. It looked like he was going to really be a force to be reckoned with in terms of what he could do with his legs. They've really shut him down since those first 2 opening drives. This is an offense without their starting running back, Nigel Newkirk, who rushed over 1,400 yards a year ago and is committed to Alabama.
3rd start inside their own 20. Jordan Brown doesn't have a lot of room to roam. Next to Gray Richardson.
They need for Hughley to be able to kind of stress the defense again with his legs like he did on those first 2 drives. They also need to make some plays through there. The problem is for that Gainesville offense, the strength of that Buford defense is that secondary. And it's really that D-line for the Wolves that has stepped up and played better than their experience would suggest.
Hughley, little bubble to Doyle Morrison. Morrison gets a block, finds some green, and a late hit out of bounds. Give him the first down, give him 15 more after this penalty. Brady Wagner pushed him out of bounds late, tackled him late after the gain of 18.
Personal foul, late hit, out of bounds on the defense. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
And that'll help you get out of the shadows of your end zone.
Nice blocking there by Trent Wilcox out on the edge, the receiver, allowing him to get there. And then you see once he's in the white, the hit into the bench, really just unnecessary.
Maybe not just the contact, right, but the follow through on the tackle. They're out of bounds. So 1st down and 10 at the 46-yard line. Hughley, quick pass and out of the hands of Doyle Morrison, the 3-star wideout who was great last week in the scrimmage. They really want to get him the ball in space. miss a tackle, it could be daylight, but just couldn't reel it in.
Yeah, trying to throw that on the run, and Braylon Williams, lucky that he didn't intercept that.
Not a lot of downfield shots, a lot of passes within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. Game being played in a box. Arshawn Sampson, the tailback. Instead, Hughley throws it behind Morrison, has it, crosses midfield. Braylon Williams on the stop, gain of 6 and a 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, just similar to the last play this time, just not putting Hughley on the move and threw it a little bit behind him. Forces receiver Morrison to have to kind of turn around and adjust to it. Still able to get positive gain, put him in the 3rd and medium.
Hughley, the give, no, he kept it. Throws it over to the near side, and that's Jordan Brown, the tailback. Actually, that's A.J. Watson, the tight end. Gain of 13 on a nice play. First and 10 at the 35. Hughley to the far side. Really nice throw, but even better defense. It looked like DJ Ford on the far side. Legend Wilmot is the intended receiver.
Yeah, Ford there in coverage. Player who had a chance to see this offseason. Really good testing numbers. Plays the assignment, good job closing. To be able to break that up. If you see here, in this drive, ever since they picked up that 1st down off the penalty, really just kind of attacking the edges with the passing game.
2nd down and 10 here for Gainesville. The freshman running back, Sampson, nearly broke that one free. Tripped up inside the 30-yard line. Gain of 9 on the play. Miles Stack was able to trip him up there for Buford. 3rd down and short. Hughley keeping this one, but a whistle. And a false start. Motion penalty on Gainesville.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Neither of these teams like 3rd and short.
No. Either of them should be investing in making things any harder than they need to be.
2nd false start for Gainesville. 4-down territory here, Hubs?
At this part, depending on where they get, I think with the score, you can potentially look at kicking the field goal. If you don't get anything here, then yeah, I think you give yourself another chance.
Tamorian Parrott, far side receiver. In a 3-receiver set. Arshawn Sampson, the freshman tailback, next to the Clemson commit, Kyrene Hughley. 3rd down. Hughley has some room. Hughley makes the man miss. Crossing the 20, crossing the 15, inside the 10. Josh Eccles was the last line of defense after the gain of 23 yards. 1st and goal, Red Elephants.
And that's what you need. You need your star player to make a play. 3 defenders Hughley is able to elude or break tackles from to get downfield, and it's a hustle from Eccles that's able to ultimately save that touchdown.
His 3rd rush of 20 or more yards. Hughley, the pass, a little behind his receiver, but it is caught. That is Doyle Morrison with a short gain. They're inside the 5.
Trying to get Hughley out on the edge, almost throwing back a little bit against his body into some traffic.
3rd red zone opportunity here. They've come up empty the first couple of times for touchdowns. Heavy personnel here. 10th play of the drive. And Hughley stopped.
It's Williams they brought in the Wildcat.
Darren Williams brought in there. 3rd down and goal at the 4. You think about how much is being placed on Hughley. No Nigel Newkirk, the Alabama commit. Certainly would have had his bevy of carries up to this point,
Big,
especially in the red
back.
zone. to the end zone, touchdown! Colin Porterfield on the 4-yard strike, and Gainesville has the lead.
The Georgia State commit, Porterfield, they're going to drag him from the backside right along the goal line. Ugley, a nice job just putting on his receiver. He's going to be to Ugley's left, dragging across.
Dwayne Carter for the point after to make it a 3-point game. It has been a tough go here for Gainesville. But an 11-play, 87-yard drive in less than 4 minutes. They convert all 3 of their third downs after going 1 for 7 in the first half.
You need your star players to make plays. Kyreem Ugley does that. Gets Gainesville back on the scoreboard and in the lead.
Six teams, one ultimate kickoff event. Which team will make the biggest opening statement? The Jeep ABCA First Serve continues on Sunday. Are you ready for it?
I tell you, Kentucky certainly looked the part. Taking down Wisconsin yesterday. Got to watch that match. Courtney Lyle and the gang doing a great job. Awesome to see volleyball. You know, when volleyball starts, you know, football's right around the corner. The boys of college taking center stage next week. But how about this Gainesville offense? Finally, a red zone touchdown, the first red zone touchdown we have seen tonight. And Hughley cashing in.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you don't self-destruct in the red zone to
Yeah.
positive things that can happen. And but really, it was a nice run by Kyreem Ugley on that drive that kind of kept them alive and allowed them to kind of find a little momentum.
Axel Alfaro handling the kickoff duty here. That was not what he intended to do. Sophomore puts that one out of bounds, so good field position here for Buford.
Kick out of bounds. Kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard. First down.
Buford going to try and get their offense going here. They find themselves trailing by a field goal after Gainesville punched it in. You don't win a state title and a national championship without some high-level Power 4 talent. They had that last year, Hobbs. Tough to reload. We'll see what they have the rest of this season. But this was a good crop last season.
Yeah, I mean, 10 players signing with FBS programs. The second to last one, Dayton Raiola, he was their quarterback a year ago. Buford has the talent, but sometimes new faces having to step up into bigger roles. You still got to find that chemistry again. Had a chance to talk to their linebacker, Josh Eccles, yesterday. Coach kept talking about, restart. Forget about the past. We need to restart. This offense needs to find a way to kind of restart. Find some juice. He's going to need to start with that quarterback, DJ Hunter, the James Madison commit.
Here's Hunter, low snap, gives it off to Granville. Granville trying to find the sideline, and he does. One of the biggest plays of the game. Crossing midfield, first down.
They're excited about Granville. They're using his speed to be able to beat Jeremiah Proctor with the angle there, outrace him to the edge and be able to turn the corner.
Gaining 25 yards. Longest play for Buford by far. Nearly doubling their offensive total. And the give off tackle. That was Granville. Jeremiah Proctor with the stop, a gain of 4.
Getting good push there. And this is offensive line. Both tackles committed to programs. Kristen Walcott, their left tackle, Boston College committed as a defensive lineman. Their right tackle going to Wofford, their right guard going to Pitt. I think their center's got 4-star potential. Eli Williams. It's a good O-line. They need him to step up.
Hunter to the near side, getting some good blocking, crossing the 30, inside to the 20. This is Ace Thomas inside the 10. Zachary Ingram tripped him up, gain of 30. How about more than 50 yards on a couple of plays here on this possession?
Yeah, squeezing all this offense into this drive and getting number 3. Ace Thomas has been quiet tonight, just quickly getting it out to the edge, able to break some tackles. There's number 6, Darren Williams, a nice move inside. Now they need to not self-destruct in the red zone.
The give, Hunter keeps it himself, finds the corner, touchdown! Where did this offense come from? See if it comes at a cost. Jameer Cantrell is the player down here for Buford. Hopefully it's just a cramp in this heat as the trainers attend to him. But right now, Buford regains the lead.
The offense stopped hitting the snooze button and woke up in a hurry on that drive.
See him stretching out Jameer Cantrell, which is a good sign. The Arkansas commit has toted the rock a bunch here tonight.
Oh, yeah. Two-way player, also plays safety. You get seeing a lot of snaps.
Cantrell headed to Arkansas. General back there on defense. 3-star safeties. We look at DJ Hunter, who took a while to get going, but getting those Buford players in space really helped on that drive.
Well, it really started with that nice run by A.J. Granville out in the edge, and then getting it out to the edge, number 3, Ace Thomas. He makes a few defenders miss, gets a big gain, and then the next play, Hunter does a really nice job of selling that run. That Gainesville defense crashes down. He's able to kind of get to the edge. Number 11, Owen Moraski. A little bit of a block there just to give his quarterback enough room to get it across the goal line.
Ian Chafin, the holder here. This is Evan Griffith, the lefty for the PAT. Griffith puts it through. 4 plays, 65 yards. After 32 plays and about 45 yards leading up to that.
If you just tuned in, you didn't miss any offense from Buford because they just showed it all. DJ Hunter helps the #1 ranked Wolves extend their lead.
College football going international for week 0. Next Saturday, tune in for a triple header starting with North Carolina against TCU in Dublin at noon Eastern. Then NC State visiting Virginia, followed by Alabama A&M against Howard on ABC. All 3 games also available on the ESPN app. Matt Schick, Craig Hobart kicking off the season here in Buford, Georgia. Buford High School, the 3rd lead change of the night. And that lead for Gainesville didn't last very long. After less than a 4-minute drive for Buford. Spanning 65 yards on just 4 plays. That kick goes into the end zone as Gainesville trying to regain the lead, starting the drive at their own 20. Gainesville 10-2 record last season, came up short of the state championship game. Buford won the national championship last year. A plethora of Power 4 signees, and they have reloaded. Offense took a while to get going. They've cracked the 100-yard mark on that last drive.
And thanks to that last drive.
Yeah. Brown in the backfield along with the Clemson committed quarterback Hyreem Hughley. Hughley hands to Brown. Brown picks up a few yards.
We saw some life from, both offenses in those last 2 series. Now we'll see with Buford responding. How does this offense for Gainesville, how do they react? Are they able to kind of keep their poise, move the chains? See how involved Hughley, the Clemson commit, gets on the ground as well.
Hughley keeps it, trying to look downfield. He'll have to throw that one away. And was it past the line? Was he outside the tackle box? The crowd is screaming. Ethan Hauser forced him out. No flag. And it brings out 3rd down. This Buford defense, outside of a couple of plays here tonight, has really put the hammer down.
Buford here on this 3rd, not showing any pressure.
False start on Gainesville.
False start, offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
3rd and long is not where you want to be against this Wolves defense.
No, we talked about how do you react, do you keep the poise here? And penalty on third down, just making things more difficult for yourself. See if this time Buford does bring pressure.
Kyrie Hughley with 73 yards passing, 90 yards rushing here tonight. Showing pressure off the edge.
Echols, Middle Tennessee State commit to Hughley's left.
Eccles is coming. Hughley is running. Hughley is brought down.
Barry Wagner doing a nice job. Brady Wagner, excuse me, number 9, doing a nice job as he got flushed to him.
Miles Stack also in pursuit. And a 3-and-out here for Gainesville. So Buford already with a 4-point lead after retaking the lead with a touchdown drive. 4 plays, 65 yards that spanned just 4 minutes the last time they had the football. And that leads to a 4th 3-and-out here for Gainesville. High snap, got to get rid of it. Logan Gailey does just that. That could have been disastrous. The punt not great, but better than it appeared to be. They will have that ball around the 41-yard line. What have you seen from the quarterbacks tonight here, Craig Hubbard?
Well, you know, both college FBS caliber quarterbacks, and it started off with Hughley doing it with his legs. Here doing a nice job surveying, finding his receiver. Colin Porterfield coming across to put points on the board, and then Hunter on the move. And then getting out on the edge. It's really both of these quarterbacks have been the sparks when these offenses have been successful. Now which one can find the consistency? We saw Gainesville sputter on their next drive. How does DJ Hunter and his Wolves offense respond now?
Yeah, they're trying to find something offensively, so they bring in Ahmad King at running back. As Cantrell was a little nicked up the last time out. Jeremiah Proctor, we've called his name a dozen times tonight. He makes that tackle, stop near the line. Gain of 1.
And you kind of feel like if Buford here can kind of find ways, move the chains, put points on the board, especially a touchdown, it can really make things difficult for Gainesville the way that offense has kind of struggled. But Buford has not done much better, but a chance here.
Trip Chapman is the running back here next to DJ Hunter. Chapman takes the football. Chapman breaks out of it, and he breaks free. Chapman to the end zone. Touchdown, Buford. Got out of the grasp of Proctor, breaks it for 40, and they've got a double-digit lead.
Number 79, the center, Eli Williams, does a great job of just collapsing the interior of that Gainesville defensive line. Angelo Brown gets the second level, and then their running back able to break a tackle. Chapman can take it to the house.
Chapman, his second carry of the night, goes for Pater. And in a game where offense was hard to come by for Buford, they're starting to blow this thing open.
Yeah, I really felt coming into this game that they had an advantage. They could get pushed with that interior offensive line. They have struggled to do that on that play. They did that again, and I love, again, the junior, number 79, Eli Williams, great block there, and then Chapman as well, being able to spin out of that.
The legal participation on the defense. That 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. The score, good.
2-point conversion there for Buford. While we were celebrating and talking about just this, how this Buford offense has been able to move the football, the 2-point conversion makes it a 12-point lead. And here's a look again.
They have been setting up that look all night long, and then again they've been able to get some push doing so there again.
That was Brady Wagner who ran that in for the 2-point conversion. So a 12-point lead here for Buford. with 2.5 to go here in the third.
Yeah, well deserved for Wagner. He's played really well on defense tonight.
And now the kickoff from the 45 after the penalty. Jack Rudloff will kick this one off. Wilmont and Morrison back to receive. They will see if they even get an opportunity here. Kick almost made it to the miniature football field. 25-13. Buford with the lead. What does Gainesville need to do, Greg Hubbard?
I mean, well, they got to listen. We've talked about it. They were without Nigel Newkirk, the Alabama commit. Rushed for over 1,400 yards a year ago. His backup is also not playing tonight. So that puts a lot of the onus in the running game on Hughley, who came out very strong. They need to sustain this drive. They cannot go 3 and out and allow a Buford offense to start to wake up to potentially even make this lead bigger.
Sean Sampson, the freshman, ripped down. Sampson, the freshman, looking for perhaps a face mask call. Didn't get it. Julian Dillard with that put down and a no gain. First down offense has been failing this Gainesville Red Element team. Sampson again, the tailback in this 2-receiver set. Kyrene Hughley trying to get things going offensively, looking to air it out, and he does. He's got his man Morrison, and it is tipped away. And a flag. Flag on the play. The Buford sideline is stunned. We'll see if the officials get together. It looked like that pass was tipped from our vantage point.
There was contact from 19 Jackson Patterson a little bit early.
Jameer Cantrell also there. 2 defensive backs in coverage, and Buford clamoring for a tipped ball, which would take away the pass interference.
We're going to get it.
Yep.
There's no flag on the play.
You know, those defensive coaches and secondary coaches, like, don't put that on us. Don't put that evil on us. They were all celebrating on the Buford side, and now a 3rd down and 10 here for Gainesville. Certainly a danger zone here at the end of the third quarter. 4 receivers in the formation. Sampson, the tailback. He's a freshman. 0 for 4 on 3rd downs of 10 or more yards here for Gainesville. They got to have it here. Hughley trying to find some room. Throws it on the far side, just shy of the 1st down. That was the freshman Sampson. DJ Ford doing a nice job of pushing him out of bounds before the sticks. Eccles pressuring the quarterback, and a punt coming up for the Red Elephants.
Yeah, there's pressure coming in. Hughley doing a nice job of at least evading that pressure, but forcing the throw underneath, and then DJ Ford able to, as you mentioned, force him out of bounds, force his punt.
Back-to-back 3 and outs for Gainesville, a team that went 10-2 last season, trying to avoid an 0-1 start. Logan Gailey set to punt, and Braylon Williams.
We have some punt snap issues tonight as well.
And you were saying, Greg Hubbard, ball on the goal line and recovered. Touchdown, Buford! They do it again. Recovered by Carson White. Ball left on the goal line after another bad snap, and Buford taking advantage of all the early Christmas gifts. There is a flag on the play. Back at the 35-yard line, which is likely a post-play penalty, but we shall see.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense. The score is good. The 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
I kind of feel like when a big guy scores, you should get some extra celebration.
Carson White.
Anything number 50 to 79, you get a little celebration leeway.
The big sophomore defensive lineman with the touchdown. And Buford has blown this open. Craig Hubbard all over the bad snaps. He will have your winning lottery numbers for tomorrow as well. Evan Griffin puts it through.
Someone who used to long snap many years ago. Trust me, that was my forte.
Bad snaps have been the story. Special teams, 17 points off of 4 turnovers, 22 unanswered for Buford.
Just too high, and again, the punter just trying to scoop it up. It just can't find a handle, and then big Carson White, the big man, coming in there, landing on it every big, wow, already checked that box in week 1. Gotta feel good.
How about Eccles? Is that a dream or what? Let's get the punter.
Yeah, Eccles, it started every game a year ago for that national championship winning Buford team back.
He's been a force on the edge. They say sometimes he's too versatile at times. They want to put him everywhere. Well, he's been everywhere tonight.
I will say this too, good on Middle Tennessee State of taking a, I think he's a little underrated because of his body type, because he doesn't have ideal length. He's a little bit shorter. That's a guy who works really hard in the weight room, is a good versatile football player.
So you know, they don't all have the last name poise or toughness. Those are phrases that they put on the backs of the jerseys, which can sometimes make it more challenging for us, but that's why they have jersey numbers.
Yes.
Jake Rudloff is set to kick this one away. How about Buford? 6 first downs, 1 for 8 on 3rd down, and 32 points. What a stat line. And what a kick. That's Doyle Morrison. Morrison on the far side and ushered out of bounds. Junior Norwood with the stop on the return. Little League Classic action is here. Watch first place teams, the Atlanta Braves and the Milwaukee Brewers, face off in Williamsport. That's coming up Sunday, 7 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN and streaming on the ESPN app. Little League Classic, always a great watch. That's coming up on Sunday. Well, this game has gotten out of hand, Craig Hubbard. We were looking for offense. We found it. Well, in droves.
Yeah, and special teams miscues, and it's always one of those things, until you do it live, sometimes it could be quite different. The struggles that they've had with snaps.
Kyrie Hughley to the near side. That's Colin Porterfield, who has a touchdown to his name. And nearly a first down to his name. He does. Gain of 10. Justin Hawthorne with the stop. Little more than a minute to go here in this 3rd quarter. Time now the enemy of Gainesville. 1 more quarter to play, but down 19.
Yeah, you know, listen, you got an outstanding quarterback in Kyrie Hughley, but it seems like they're struggling to find that complementary playmaker with him to help this offense go.
Inside to the tailback, Jordan Brown.
I mean, their backs are certainly against the wall, but it's not an insurmountable deficit, but with the way the offense has struggled, it certainly more appears that way. And again, like you say to yourself, where do you go with the football? Who's that guy who can give them then that spark offensively outside of their quarterback?
Hughley to the near side, caught by Porterfield, one of his favorite targets tonight. That is his 4th catch. Hayes Thompson with the stop, gain of 9.
Porterfield's their leading returning receiver from a year ago with 26 catches.
Georgia State commit, big body, wide out. Yeah, 6 touchdowns a season ago, 1 so far this year. Jordan Brown, the tailback. Little high for his intended receiver, legend Wilmot. 14 seconds to go in this third quarter. This Buford coaching staff very familiar with Kareem Hughley, the quarterback. Brian Appling, the head coach, saying, yeah, saw him in middle school. We've seen him. Never know what they'll turn into, but he's a special player. Just needs some help tonight. Jordan Brown breaking free. And that ball is on the ground. They turn it over again. Ethan Hauser with the football. Turnover number 5 for Gainesville.
Showing that depth on this team, Junior Norwood is going to break into the secondary, the running back. You're going to see it wrapping up, and as you're spinning down, 25, Junior Norwood's able to strip it loose.
Back-to-back turnovers for Gainesville. And that might have been their last chance at keeping this one close. Especially since this Buford offense has gotten into gear. Ahmad King now the tailback behind DJ Hunter. Might be looking for the kill shot. Hunter looking deep into double coverage. And the horn indicates the end of the third quarter. That one intended for Braylon Williams. Buford's last couple of drives, 4 plays, 65 yards, touchdown. 2 plays, 41 yards, touchdown. Fourth quarter could be more of the same. Buford having its way in this second half, kicking things off the right way at home. High school kickoff week here on ESPN. Boy, did David Gabriel Georges get it done there on the ground and in the backfield, catching the football. The Tennessee commit was terrific. Bishop Gorman beating St. John Bosco in a 10-point game. And St. Michael out of Alabama, that was a scary day with Gunnar Rivers, son of Philip Rivers, going down early with an apparent leg injury. Those on the broadcast saying perhaps not as serious as it looked, so fingers crossed there for that. But what a week it's been. And you wonder, Hans, as Bishop Gorman gets that win, as Hunter throws it out to Braylon Williams, who is stopped behind the line. Gorman gets the win in the 2 versus 3 matchup. That's a big win. Buford blowing out Gainesville right now. They are the #1 team. What do the rankings look like next week?
It's going to be an interesting discussion. I think, you get a 2 versus 3 out west. I mean, Bishop Gorman at one point, I think, was up 28-0. St. John Bosco was able to kind of store back, and then ultimately Gorman showed the composure to be able to put that one away. And I think with some of the struggles here early on for Buford, it looking like maybe see what the rest of the committee says, that Gorman may be able to leapfrog him here, but Buford still got a quarter here to make a statement.
Hunter flips it far side. That's a nice play and a nice catch. That's Ace Thomas, a two-way player. Darren Williams forces him out of bounds, but Ashton Thomas on the nice throw there off his back foot by DJ Hunter. Brings up a 4th down and 1.
Yeah, showing some of that arm strength as a defender in his face, still able to kind of throw it out there, make the completion.
Darren Williams putting the pressure on Hunter on that play. So a 4th and 1 here on their own 43-yard line. Trip Chapman, the lone tailback, who has a 40-yard touchdown run. And they do call a timeout.
Timeout. Buford. Their first charge timeout of the half.
Three-possession lead here for Buford with a 19-point lead, 32-13. Craig Hubbard, when we look at the high school rankings, Buford sitting there at #1. There are some great teams out here that will be on ESPN networks this weekend as well as next.
Yeah,
what's the gap here?
Yeah, again, the discussion is, does Gorman now jump with that 2 versus 3 victory over #2? Buford here, they've got a commanding lead here in the 4th quarter. What kind of statement can they make to try to hold on and defend? Grayson will drop. They actually lost a week ago out here. We'll see St. Thomas Aquinas next week as they take on DeSoto. We'll see Gorman next week as well as they play Christopher Columbus High School doubleheader down in South Florida. Early on, Buford again, they did not start the year #1 a year ago. They kind of climbed their way up as things around them kept shifting early in the year here, but already kind of battling to try to hold on to that #1 as Gorman making a statement out west.
And off inside to Chapman, who has the first down. Good to see Cantrell back in the game as well. Jaileel Goley with the stop. Gain of 8 here for Buford. Yeah, I know the Buford fans would think, hey, we're the reigning national champs. We're hanging a number here on Gainesville. Our defense might be the best in the country. Special teams, pretty good as well. Yeah, our offense, I mean, forgive us, Craig Hubbard. We're trying to, get it going here. Took us a half, but we got it going.
Well, more than half. Good 2.5 quarters.
Buford, I'm here in the booth trying to defend you. Ahmad King, the tailback. Gets to the 45-yard line. Chance Davis with the stop.
One thing I will say about Buford, we talked about this during the break. They utilize their entire roster. If you're wearing shoulder pads and a jersey on, you're going to probably at some point see snaps. We talked about earlier how hot it is down there. It's when you have that type of depth on your roster, you can roll that many players in that you feel comfortable when they're on the field can contribute. It's a huge advantage. I mean, I've been really impressed with just how deep this Buford roster is.
David Salati is doing our spotting up here, and he's had to take out different notebooks to go through the different players that they are going through. As handoff given on the far side. That was A.J. Granville. Gain of 3. Marcus Sims with the stop. As the clock continues to tick, 9.5 to go here in this one. We saw that top 10, Craig Hubbard. What's the gap between 1 and 10? Like, how much parity is there at the top level of high school football?
Well, we talked about how Grayson will go. I mean, but I think you look at those first 7 teams, I think they all can make a case for being #1 or being in those top 3.
Hunter under duress, showing he can run as well. First down. Gain of 10, ushered out by goalie. It's DJ Hunter, the 3-star commit to James Madison.
He's mobile, good arm strength. I think, what's interesting about him, too, is that we've seen one pass tonight batted down. He's got a little bit of that 3-quarter delivery, but certainly good arm strength. And he told me that James Madison coaches really liked what he could do with his legs, his ability to create.
Keyshawn Blow with the handoff. Another positive gain, stopped by Dallas Ferguson, a gain of 4. Yeah, DJ Hunter. Last week, led the team on a scoring drive. The opening drive, his scrimmage. Second drive, he threw an interception. Third drive, had a touchdown pass. The coaches love the way he battles back from either mistakes or issues. This whole offense has had to battle back tonight, and he's been the head of that snake. Second half, especially late third quarter, got it turned around.
And it's a team effort. Their defense and their special teams play gave their offense the breathing room it needed to find its stride.
Hunter's got some room. Hunter's got the pylon. Hunter has the touchdown. .28 yards for the 38 points. His second rushing touchdown of the night.
I asked him, I said, what do the James Madison coaches like about you? What do they tell you that? He said, my legs, my ability to create, my ability to run. He showed it right there. You put it on top of the arm strength, and you got some things for Billy Napier and that rest of that staff to work with.
The legs are an asset, and they have been terrific tonight. 8 carries, 60 yards, and a couple of touchdowns to boot. And that boot is good. 39-13. DJ hunting for the end zone, and he finds it.
Buford took a while to get going. Defense, special teams allowed this offense time to ignite, and they have, as the #1 ranked team in the country, extends its lead.
The ESPN High School Kickoff is brought to you by Ace, the helpful place. Philip Beard Stadium has been a dreadful place for Gainesville here in the last couple of quarters. This was a 13-10 Gainesville lead. 29 straight points scored by the home team, the reigning national champs, undefeated last season, and the #1 team in high school football, looking to start 1-0 under the lights. How many more points do they have to score for you to keep them #1?
That's yeah. I mean, it's a discussion. I'll tell you what. I just think a 3 beating a 2 versus a 1 beating an unranked team that obviously has struggled itself.
Pooch kick there, received by Jaden Fossong.
I can say regardless of what happens, this is a Buford team that's certainly in the mix to defend that. Obviously, anytime you play in the state of Georgia, so much talent, so deep. You can run the table in the state of Georgia. You're going to make yourself a case to win a national title as they did a year ago.
Great games next week. Friday night, St. Joseph, Mount Carmel, and then a doubleheader at St. Thomas Aquinas. Bishop Gorman just took down Jan Bosco.
Yeah, I'll be at that doubleheader. See Gorman and Christopher Columbus, Amir Sears, just a Miami commit who reclassified for 2026 class. Tremendous athlete. There's going to be a lot of talent on the field throughout those 2 games.
Flag on the play.
False start, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
4th false start penalty here for Gainesville tonight. What do you think the coaching staff and Centavius Bryant are going to take away from this game here tonight?
They're going to go, Nigel Newkirk, how quick are you, how quickly are you going to be healthy again?
How you feeling, Nigel Newkirk?
Yeah, can we get
Alabama
you back?
commit, 3-star running back, unable to play tonight because of an injury. Nice pass over to the far side. That is complete near midfield. That's Doyle Morrison. Hughley can sling it, gain of 12.
Well, that's it, and I we joke around, but I say that because the one thing has been apparent tonight.
There's Newkirk.
It doesn't seem like he's talking about Hughley a compliment, somebody that he can kind of work with, somebody that he can get the ball to. It seems like they're still trying to find who some of those explosive offensive pieces are going to be.
Hughley, far sideline, just misfires there. That was legend Wilmot. Check that, Connor Hall was the intended receiver.
Because you can have a really talented dual threat quarterback, but if he doesn't have anybody necessarily helping him along the way, it can be very easy to contain that player.
How good is Nigel Newkirk? We looked at some of the stats here.
I mean, listen, he is he looks like a college player already. To the big frame, powerful strides, that one cut and go runner. He's one of these guys that can tax a defense not only with the ability to break away, but also to kind of be a bit of a hammer as well, wear defense is down. And maybe things are a little bit different if he's constantly slamming into the interior of that Buford defensive line.
Quick bubble off to the far side, crossing to 45. That's Doyle Morrison. Morrison in double-digit catches tonight, brought down by Reese Holland. 11 catches for Morrison.
And just to be, that's not the only reason that Gainesville's lost tonight.
7 catches.
Yeah, has lost tonight, but I mean, obviously special teams, miscues, turnovers.
Hughley looking deep, has a man, and Trent Wilcox dove for that one, but just out of his hands. Got more than 250 total yards here for Gainesville, but a majority of those gains happening in the first 2.5 quarters. Since then, it's been all Buford. Jordan Brown, minimal gain. Kyrie Hughley, the quarterback, trying to manufacture some offense as we finish out this game. Of course, his future team, Clemson, week 1, has a big game against LSU. Battle of Death Valleys. Arshawn Sampson was the tailback. Hughley, little screen there off to the far side. Has a sideline, has some room. And Arshawn Sampson with a gain of 15. That's a very talented freshman running back who's been living in the shadows a little bit. And they were excited to see him get a chance on ESPN. Malachi Speed brings him down. First and 10, Hughley off his back foot. Hughley. Pretty good defense there, intended for H.P. Williams. There's no face guarding in high school. And they're on that play to defend it. Giovanni Day with a nice job.
And this again shows some of the depth that Buford has there. Going down some more players, getting in the game. Good job playing the ball, not panicking. Once the receiver started to move for the ball, that's when he turned and looked. Good coverage.
Pass off to the flat, near side. That is Watson, the tight end. And there is a flag on the play.
There is a flag.
Gainesville in the red zone, nearing the 10-yard line. We'll await this call.
Yes, sir. Thank you. This is his call. I gotta figure out whose call it is so I put you on the screen.
Pass interference. Offense. 15-yard penalty. First down. Correction. Second down.
It will be second down here for Gainesville. That is the 8th penalty for the Red Elephants. A lot to work on for Coach Bryant. Coach Bryant was a former assistant at Gainesville, was the head coach at Grayson, helped them win a state championship just a couple of years ago. Went 37-5 as the head coach there at Grayson. Second down at 25. Sampson, the freshman, hit hard. Up down at the 43-yard line. That's Ethan Hauser, whose name we've called a lot. He is headed to Vanderbilt to play for Clark Lee, the 3-star.
Yeah, that linebacker crew, Ethan Hauser, number 8, Josh Eccles, number 9, Brady Wagner. That crew's been really good tonight. And I think that defensive line has exceeded expectations for Buford. Not necessarily in terms of talent, but I think playing above their experience level tonight. They do a great job playing with their hands, great separation.
10th play of the drive. Nice catch and reception to Connor Hall. Down at the 30. That's a 12-yard gain, and will bring up 4th down and 12. As Terrence Atkins brought it down. 5.5 minutes to go in this season kickoff at Buford High. And it being 4th down, 5 minutes to go, and down by 26 points. Kyrie Hughley and company will go for it.
Not much to debate there.
Hughley evading. Look at the footwork. Throwing into the end zone, has a man, and it's incomplete. Doyle Morrison slipped as it came, and it looked like it hit him right in the helmet. It's been that kind of night for Gainesville.
And Morrison has kind of been their most consistent receiver in terms of receptions. And Hughley's able to kind of buy a second chance, get outside the pocket. He's got some pressure. He throws it up. He's got Morrison who's slipped behind the defense all alone. And as he tries to work back to it, you mentioned just not able to bring it in kind of.
Right in the face mask. Arshawn Sampson, the freshman tailback, did a nice job of getting Hughley free there to make that play.
Yeah, I mean, he did a nice job stepping up, really took on a lot of force there, making the block. Just missed opportunity.
All Buford here in this second half. Less than 5 minutes to go before they improve to 1-0. Buford High, Matt Schick, Craig Howard. It's been all Buford here in this second half. The #1 team in the country, the reigning national champs, getting it done, and the numbers tell the story in this second half. Incredible numbers. 180 total yards in the second half as they've made a change at quarterback. DJ Hunter is out. Braden Thompson is in at quarterback. So the day is done for Hunter, who finishes 6 of 13 passing, 67 yards, but did most of his damage on the ground. 8 carries, 60 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. James Madison commits. Night is done. Braden Thompson, similar skill set, according to his coaches, is in. But what a night for Hunter. What a second half.
Yeah, I mean, and really, I think, though, defense responded well. Remember, Kyrie Mugley came out, 62 yards rushing on those first 2 drives. That defense responded, were able to slow him down. And then ultimately special teams as well, creating several big plays. So those 2 phases of this team really allowed that offense time to settle in, find its footing, allowed DJ Hunter to kind of find some of that playmaking ability and get and extend that lead.
It's easy to find your footing, what you're saying, when you have a defense that can keep you in the game, and special teams that can give you the lead.
Yeah, and the opposing team helping you with those mistakes. Several bad snaps, especially between a long snapper and a punter, but also on offense as well. Ill-timed penalties.
And Billy Napier getting a good one there at James Madison. Ahmad King is the tailback here for Buford. 29 unanswered points. 4 straight touchdown drives for Buford. Gain of 5.
It's not going to get any easier for Gainesville. They play East St. Louis next week. East St. Louis, outstanding program there. Technically in the state of Illinois, but Darren Sunka does a great job with that program. So another challenge again before they kind of just even get in the league play.
Fourth down and 1. Valentino Lorenzo has 3 on the play clock, and they're going to have to do something here. And they've got a couple of timeouts. They're not afraid to use one.
Timeout. Buford. Their second charge, timeout of the half.
One of the few things has gone wrong here for Buford tonight. Ryan Appling's team up big. Time now for our Ace Hardware's helpful player in a battle of Hunted versus Hunter. Advantage Hunter.
Yeah, DJ Hunter, the James Madison commit, took a while for that offense to get going, but once they did, he was able to use his legs to really kind of help spark that offense. And getting around the edge there. Made some good throws as well. Stepping into that role after this offense had been led by a pair of Riolas. Dillon and then Dayton. Now it's Hunter's turn. Sit at the helm of this Wolves offense.
Another bad snap goes over the head of Lorenzo, and he corrals it inside the 5. I think we know what both head coaches are going to be working on over this next week. Tim Cole was able to jar that one loose. Was able to push the punter away to get this football. We'll see if the Red Elephants can get some points here to end this football game. College football going international for week 0. Next Saturday, tune in for a triple header. UNC TCU in Dublin at noon Eastern. NC State visits Virginia instead of Brazil, followed by Alabama A&M against Howard in Atlanta. All 3 games also available on the ESPN app. Now, that Virginia-NC State game was supposed to be in Brazil. Months ago, they said they're going to keep it in Charlottesville because of some unforeseen circumstances. Arshawn Sampson gets the carry as Kyrene Hughley's night is done. Cooper Popka in at quarterback here for the Red Elephants. Kyrene Hughley's night finishes 16 of 35 for a $143 and a touchdown. 9 carries, 91 yards, along a 31. Looked early on like it was going to be his night, and then the Wolves defense showed up. Closing in on the end zone, just shy at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, those first 2 drives, the way he was running the football, talking about Hughley, looked like he was going to really be a force. And ultimately, that Buford defense, though, responded. Special teams miscues made things difficult as well for Gainesville.
Arshawn Sampson is the man down who got that carry, the freshman, who's been thrown to the Wolves a little bit tonight. Hopefully he's okay. Just a cramp here for Arshawn Sampson. As Coach Bryant checks him out, and he's walking to the sideline. Well, you know, with how much pride this Buford defense has, they would love nothing more than to keep this team out of the end zone here with 2 minutes to go.
Doing so still just playing a lot of bodies.
3rd down and 1. Jordan Brown gets the handoff and crosses the plane for the touchdown. That snaps a streak of 29 consecutive points scored by Buford. And a touchdown for Brown to save a little face here in the 4th.
Well, it was a punt snap miscue that got Buford on the board early. It's one of those from Buford that allowed Gainesville to put some points on the board here late.
And they will go for 2 with 1:48 to go. Three receivers to the far side, 1 in motion. Popka, the backup quarterback, the sophomore, is in for the Red Elephants as his man, but knocked out of his hands. That was intended for Connor Hall. Good defense there on the 2-point attempt.
Malachi Speed doing a nice job there.
Malachi Speed is coming off an injury. Good to see him on the field tonight, the 3-star corner. What would your level of surprise be, Greg, if Buford was able to look back at this season and say, yeah, we ran the table again?
In this state, I mean, they'd probably be surprised themselves, but I mean, I think the reason why they've got a chance to do it, not only, we talked about some of the stars, James Madison commit, you've got a Michigan commit, you've got big-time players.
Arkansas.
Yeah, but their depth, I mean, we saw a lot of guys play tonight, not just once the game kind of got out of hand, like all throughout the night. They could roll in a lot of bodies, and when you could be that deep throughout the year, you could sustain injuries, you could fight through those things, you could stay fresh. I think that's a reason why they're a real threat to potentially be back-to-back champs within this state and then stay in that national title hunt, regardless of what may happen next week throughout the year.
I mean, you're looking at a coach that has led this team to greatness. This was his 99th game at Buford. It'll be his 91st win. Brian Applin.
He won state titles his first 3 years.
Recovered by Buford. They will likely run out this clock as Braylon Williams gathers here. Some more prospects to watch here in this high school kickoff. The top 100 recruits that are participating. Who do you have your eye on here, Craig?
Well, then next week, you have Julius Jones there at St. Thomas Aquinas. Hayden Stepp, one of the outstanding corners there for Bishop Gorman. Mark Matthews, you know, I get excited about the big guys. The offensive tackle there at St. Thomas Aquinas. Will Menzel, committed to Oregon, out there in Arizona. Noah Roberts will be in that Arizona matchup as well. So a lot of talent to be seen next weekend as kickoff weekend continues.
We saw Jones last year at St. Thomas Aquinas in a nice comeback attempt against Mater Dei. That was when Chris Henry Jr. went nuts. He's now at Ohio State. Just great to see these players. And then a year later, they're making a name for themselves in the college game. Keyshawn Blow getting the carry.
I mean, KJ Bolden was one of those true freshmen. He played here at Buford, quickly developing into one of the top safeties in all of college football.
By the way, I'm sure we have a lot of Georgia fans here. Would you like to give a little Georgia Bulldogs prediction here for this season? You going to win the SEC?
I think you would put them as a favorite.
Texas has a Georgia problem.
Yeah.
Roland Bradley the third getting a touch.
You're right. I mean, this is Arch Manning's year to do it if he's going to do it.
Yeah, got to get through Texas, but not necessarily to get where you want to go.
Yeah.
Well, certainly big thanks to our producer Aaron Story, our director Greg Ambrose, who's been terrific, our ISO Stacy Hunt, graphics Taylor Osler, AD Stephen Footman doing a great job. I guess I'll thank our stats and spotters, Alan Thriftley, David Salati. To our left and right up here in the booth, Jerome Ingram has been terrific as a stage manager tonight. And everyone else behind the scenes, so many people involved in these broadcasts as we have another late flag here with 20 seconds to go in this fourth quarter.
Dead ball, personal foul, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
39-19, but again, a big thanks to everyone who helps put on these games. And some more games to come this weekend and next, part of high school kickoff. And then it's week 0 and then college football kicking off. And they will let the clock tick away. And Buford will start 1-0 in their quest to repeat as state and national champs. They scored 29 straight at one point to put away the Gainesville Red Elephants and their 16th straight win after going 15-0 last season. Greg, what a performance by the reigning champs. The Wolves getting it done.
Yeah, a team effort. Defense, special teams early on responded, allowed their offense time to find its footing and then come alive as well and put up an impressive win in week 1.
39-19, Buford with the win. For Craig Hubbard, I'm Matt Schick. Thanks for watching. Next high school game, Friday, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. St. Joseph Regional taking on Mount Carmel. So long for Buford. The Savannah Bananas next.